Welcome to Cash and Liability Mastery. We like to call it CALM, sponsored by the National Institute of Financial Education. Let's do a quick overview. Over the course of 10 short modules, we're going to talk about what is money. We're going to talk about your money story. You're going to learn to manage your cash flow using a 3-bucket system. We're going to talk about the key money dynamics that you need to understand in creating wealth. The importance of debt and borrowing, understanding credit, clarifying taxes, IRAs, 401ks, and qualified savings, inflation considerations, and then we're going to pull it all together with what we call the PenFin system, a system that you can utilize to master your own calm. Why talk about money? I love this quote. While no single conversation is guaranteed to change the trajectory of a career, a company, a relationship, or a life, any single conversation can. That's from Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott. Talking about money is important. Awareness of money and the role that it plays in your life is critically important. So what is money? Traditionally, money is defined as anything that is a store of value, that offers a unit of account, and offers a medium of exchange. So think about it. Classically, I need to know that I can store value that I can release at some point in the future. So if I work, can I be paid in something that will allow me to store the value of my work? Money traditionally has done that. Money has to have a unit of account, which means it has to be divisible in a way that I could take this money and give it to you for the value that you're providing me. If I have a $20 bill that's money and you want $4 for a cup of coffee, I have to be able to give you that 20 as a unit of account and know that I should get 16 units of account back if I'm expecting $16 back. So this money has to store value. It has to provide a unit of accounting where you can account for it in some way. And it has to be a medium of exchange. If you create your own money, would other people accept it? Would they accept your value and your unit of account? Probably not. So money is something that traditionally is a medium of exchange and that other people are willing to accept and exchange their energy, their time, for that money that you provide them. So that's a little bit about what is money. What I want you to think about, though, is money goals. If you were to take and invest some time going through and trying to bring some calm into your life, which we define calm as the ability to manage your cash and your liabilities. Because for most people, cash and cash flow and liabilities are the most important things to manage early on in creating wealth. If you've already done that, I promise you there'll be some things here that'll get you thinking. But take a moment, and anytime you see our little man on the mental bicycle there, think of that as a mental exercise where you want to hit pause and ask yourself, would I like to reduce stress around money? Would I like to have more clarity about money? Would I like to feel more in control and empowered about money? Would I like to get out of debt? Would I like to learn to live within my means or develop savings? Would I like to connect with a greater meaning and purpose in my life, especially as it relates to money? In other words, what are some things you'd like to learn about money? I'd like to learn to buy a house. I'd learn to reduce the cost of home ownership. I'd like to learn how to save for college. Take a moment and think about what you'd like to learn about money. What do you call money? When I say what do you call it, the Eskimos have anywhere from 50 to 100 names for snow. We might think, well, that's kind of silly, but to them, they live in a world surrounded by snow. So particular names that differentiate a snowflake or frost or fine snow or snow on the ground or deep snow or fresh snow or a blizzard or snowbank would be really important. We might find that somewhat silly. We aren't going to go out and differentiate those things if you live in the South, in North Carolina, for example. But think about money. I searched for names for money and found one site that had over 200 names for money. I grabbed some and threw it into an infographic and see if you've called money any of these things in your life. Anything from a dollar to doves, cabbage, tenors, salad, ka-ching, ducats, a fiver, bones, dead presidents. It's all there, right? And so these words tell us something about the role that this thing called money has in our society. It plays a similar role to the way snow plays a critical role in an Eskimo society. This thing called money is critically important. So when we think about money, one of the things that we often think about is making money, and we don't ever really ask ourselves, what does it mean to make money? And what are the areas in which we often find ourselves thinking about money? Do we think about how to get it? Or do we think more about where to spend it? Do we think about how to save it? Do we think about where to save it? Do we think about how it's going to be taxed? Do we think about, will we have enough? Money is something that often occupies a great deal of our time and our energy. So understanding your relationship to money is critically important, because we're going to jump into the very specific mechanics of money, and we're going to answer all of these questions for you. But there may be a question that stands out to you that you really want to focus on, like how do I save it, or where do I spend it wisely? But money is typically something that's on our mind. Now, what is money universally? We could say that there's something called proof of work. And that's something that money is. Unless you steal it or you're given the money, money often stands as something that we can prove that we've done work because we have this money, or someone has done work. Even if we didn't earn the money ourselves, someone worked for that money. And you could say that money is something that someone or you traded your life energy for. So if you go to a job or you work, maybe you're a college student. Well, currently you're working and your job is education. It's to learn, right? You're trading your time and your energy for something that you're learning. Right now, you're trading time and energy to learn something new. But you're not being paid for it necessarily. But when we make money, almost always we can say universally, we had to trade our life energy to make that money. So you can think about it in the way that you pay for your money that you have in your life with your time. So you are paying. When someone says, I'm paying attention to you, they're paying you with their time. You pay for money with your time, and then you choose how to spend your money and your time. So money universally is always going to be something that you traded your energy for. So in that way, you have to ask yourself, what's your life energy worth? Because life energy is time. It's precious because it's limited. We can't know how much we are going to have. I often say that if you're into time management, you're into money management, because your ability to manage your time often has an impact on how you're able to manage your ability to earn and to manage your ability to create and grow wealth in your life. So you get to determine what money is worth to you because it's your life energy. And this is important because we're going to, again, look at the mechanics of money and saving and compounding and taxes and borrowing. We're going to learn about cash flow. But still, keep in mind that in the context of money, money is something that you traded your life energy for, and you get to determine what that money is going to be worth to you over time. So in our next little module, we're going to look at your money story, and we all have one. And then we're going to start constructing a money story that we feel would be ideal based on our long-term goals.